This recording is about atomic structure. Atomic structure is about parts of the atom. So our important vocabulary to listen for today, and that you are expected to learn, are the words atomic structure, proton, neutron, electron, and atomic number. The words here in yellow are words that are going to be important for you to know to understand the article. Read along with me. Chemistry is all about how atoms behave and interact with each other. In order to understand why different kinds of atoms behave or act the way that they do, we will have to know something about how these atoms are put together. In this tutorial, we will take a look at the parts of the atom, this is important, and learn about the properties or the characteristics of these atomic pieces. Click on the tip of the pencil to begin our tour of the atom. I'll do that for us. During this tour of the atom, pay attention to the properties, characteristics, of the three particles found inside. Magnifying to the atomic level, very, very, very small, lets us see that the carbon atoms in the pencil lead are vibrating, shaking, in place. This is how we would expect the atoms in a solid to move. Each individual atom is spherical, round like a ball, and seems to have edges that are fuzzy, like this. There doesn't seem to be a distinct beginning and ending points. Let's take an even closer look at what's inside. Once we stop all the usual motion taking place inside the atom, we see that it is made up of three distinct particles. Let's look at each of these individually. So we're going to focus on these three parts: protons, neutrons, electrons. The first particle we will look at is the proton. Protons are found in the center of the atom in a region called the nucleus. Region is area. Fill this information out on your chart. Pause if you need to. It is the number of protons that determine what element an atom will be. This atom has 6 protons, just like every other carbon atom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 protons. The number of protons is called the atomic number. Atomic number is one of our important vocabulary. It can be found for any element by looking at the periodic table. The atomic number is the whole number that is found with the symbol for the element. 6 is the atomic number for the element carbon. Protons have a mass of about 1 AMU. This actual mass is not really important, but you should remember that protons are one of the heavier pieces of the atom. So fill this information in on your chart. Protons are one of the heavier pieces of the atom. Pause the video if you need to. All protons have a +1 charge. You could also say this, all protons have a positive charge. They wouldn't be able to stick together in the nucleus if it weren't for the next particles we'll look at. Neutrons. This is one of our important vocabulary words. Neutrons are the other type of particle that can be found in the center of the atom, the nucleus. The center of the atom is the nucleus. Nucleus. Neutrons do not have any charge. Through forces other than charge attractions, they are able to hold the protons together in the nucleus. So fill out in your chart, the charge of a neutron is 0, no charge. Neutrons have about the same mass as protons, making them a major contributor to the mass of the atom. So neutrons, same mass as protons, 1 AMU. Neutrons and protons are equal. The last part of the atom is the electron. This is one of our important vocabulary words. Electrons are the smallest of the 3 particles and add virtually nothing to the overall mass of the atom. Electrons are very, very, very tiny. Very, very small mass. Fill this information out on your chart. Electrons are smallest and add almost 0 to the mass. Very, very tiny. It should be noted that the atom pictured on the left is not drawn to scale. Given the size of the nucleus as it is drawn, the electrons would be most likely found several feet away. In real life, atoms cannot be seen with your eyes. They are very, very tiny. Atoms are very, very, very tiny. They're small. We're going to skip those 2 slides. If an atom is neutral, it will have the same number of electrons as protons. Electrons, protons equal. We call that neutral. This carbon atom has 6 electrons, the black, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This carbon atom has 6 electrons to match the number of protons. You will spend a lot of time in chemistry learning about electrons because they are responsible for many of the properties or characteristics of individual atoms and are involved in all chemical reactions. Electrons are very important. Your job now is to match the properties for each subatomic particle with their characteristics. So go to slide 22 in the interactive link that you find in Google Classroom. You cannot move these like this in the video. When you get to Google Classroom and the website, click to move these to the correct location. Thank you for listening.